Hey YouTube, Robert the Coroner Drapp here. Another episode of the Coroner's Office, and today we're gonna talk again. We'll see the next in my series of 6 beers. One of my favorite breweries, the Southern Star Brewery Conspiracy Theory. Question the truth, the Illuminati. It's an IPA. I didn't see when I bought it, when I picked this one up at Kroger, I didn't see that it was an IPA, and I typically don't like IPAs. I really don't. I find them far too hoppy for my tastes, but I spent the money on it, so I'm not gonna take that. Got all over my hand. I'm gonna pour me, wow, a deep amber gold color. As you can see, this is darker than the Shiner Bock, than the Shiner Homespun. There's no. This is not like the Shiner that had a story on it. First to can craft in Texas. This is actually just up the road from where we live here currently. It's off of I believe 3083 and 1488 in Conroe, Texas. It's really close. I've not been to their brewery tour yet, but I remember going out there for a temp job once. I worked for a temp agency that did oh God, what were they? Car wash stuff, you know, car accessories. So, but as you can see, ooh, you can smell the hops. It's got almost like a very citrus orange. And I like that. And I see, that's the thing. I like that smell. I like that smell. I do. Oh, very bitter. A very, very, very bitter beer. And oh, then you leave it for a minute and it comes rushing back again. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's not terrible. I don't typically recommend drinking shit like that, but if you like IPAs, I bet you'd like that. So it's not like, I can't even think of an IPA that I'd actually recommend, because a very wise man once told me, find something you hate to drink. Pick a category you hate to drink, and then find something in that category you like and recommend it to other people, because it's probably amazing. And I guess that's based on the principle that if you hate something, if you hate a certain product or you hate a certain thing, and you can find a positive in it, that it's not totally irredeemable, and that it works, that it's a good thing. Because if you hate it, you're biased against it, so that you're going to judge it harsher, and therefore you're not going to like it as much. 12 ounce IPA. I'm trying to go for the alcohol content, which it doesn't list on here, which is strange. I thought they generally had to do that. I do like the can. Again, I like the can. You got Freemasons, and you got the Illuminati. And you got Area 51 with a UFO on there. It's a beautiful can, and I like the can. I like the packaging, but not so much the contents. So again, I guess that'll teach me to just, oh look, that's pretty. I want to grab that. I like Southern Star in the thing. So it's a lesson I'm probably going to be learning for a little while. to give you guys some more update on the progress of my very, very first, let's call it a scarf. We're going to call it a scarf. I finished. I had made the executive decision that once I was done with the silver yarn that I had, that I was going to, you know, or when I was coming close to the end of the first ball, I was going to stop knitting, and I was going to go on ahead and just straight go into a new, brand new, without trying, because I don't think there's a way that I could have ever recovered on this one. And so many people that I know have been very, very, very positive about the progress I made, because they're like, no, yeah, you definitely did something that looks like a scarf. Even if you didn't accomplish what you set out to do, you definitely achieved it. I don't know if y'all can tell, I'm going to put this on my shoulders now, so that way you can kind of get a perspective. I'm about 6 foot tall. Got the tail out here. And that covers well over my shoulders. Wow. That's a long way. That's almost all the way to the camera. Now, see, the thing I want to learn is the side you're seeing, it clearly goes here and transitions very well in these couple panels. And then you see the first two panels that I did were right here, and you can see the silver transitioning to the blue and the blue transitioning to the silver. On the other side, I kind of went the opposite way. This is a smooth transition into a not great transition into another block that then ran into the end of all of the yarn that I had. But there was a YouTube channel that there was a YouTube video that I watched to learn how to do this. I may leave a note in the comments with the YouTube video that I watched that taught me how to do this. But no, yeah, we're chugging on. What else to talk about? Playing Final Fantasy today. I'm at level 47, and currently my husband has decided he wants to get me to 50 today. He's like, no, we're going to do this. It's going to happen. So we got very little time today left when you really consider it. It's 3:15 right now. So we're going to be working on this. Today's Thursday. Oh, here's a couple things. WWE news. Vince McMahon was in a car accident in Connecticut. Apparently totaled his Bentley. Absolutely destroyed it. Walked away like a badass though. Apparently it was like the car's totaled, but he's fine. So that's, you know, thank God. For all the shit we give him for all that, nobody deserves tragedy. Nobody deserves tragedy. Nobody. But again, in the vein of tragic WWE news, legendary announcer Jim Ross's wife was riding her scooter home, and some 17-year-old kid struck her from behind, and apparently, you know, she's in critical condition. She's not doing good, so please, you know, keep keep the Ross family in your thoughts and your prayers. I mean, I grew up watching the Attitude Era, Jim Ross. I mean, he holds a place in everybody's hearts as far as the nostalgia we feel for the Attitude Era. His voice is endemic of wrestling for many, many of us, and I'm not going to say I'm not one of them. I love his work. His voice is what I believe a color commentator should be. And there are some promotions out there like New Japan and Ring of Honor that have benefited from having him on the payroll. And he does a podcast. He talked about it. While I feel extraordinarily bad for the Ross family, I am going to shit on him here for a minute. So, go in the comments on how I'm a terrible person. And this calls to my dad, actually. He told me, very, very young, a few rules for when you ride a motorcycle. And he would never pass up an opportunity when we were driving down the road to extol upon these rules and remind you. If he saw some kid in flip-flops, shorts, and a backwards hat riding a crotch rocket rice burner motorcycle, you know, the Kawasaki Ninjas, just if he saw him at a stoplight or something, he would look at you and tell you, that guy's a fucking idiot. Why is that guy a fucking idiot? I actually asked once. He said, if he has to lay that thing down, I don't think he's walking away. And my dad has had 3 motorcycle wrecks. I'm sorry, no. He ran over a German Shepherd that had been running loose in the neighborhood, and I mean, he was riding a Honda Goldwing. It's a big touring bike. One of those ones you see on the cruising on the road with the big windshield, the big front end, and the big bags on the back. Usually the guy sitting in it's got a sissy bar behind him, was kind of like a chair, and then another person sitting behind him with another chair. Full pads, leather. Some of them play music. He actually has one now. He has a new Harley that is a touring bike, but he was riding that Honda and he was doing maybe 25, 30, not even. Couldn't dodge the dog. Went straight over the handlebars, broke his collarbone. But he was wearing a helmet, and he said, "That's rule 1. You dress for the accidents. You dress for the fall. You don't dress for comfort. Because, trust me, being in traction is far more uncomfortable than being a little hot. You can unzip. They make jackets and pants now that are perfect for hot weather, but still work really well with riding, like leather jackets that have vents and plates and so forth. So that way, no matter what happens, you're safe. Number 2, helmets have statistically been proven to significantly reduce the rates of mortality in motorcycle accidents. And in this case, and how it relates to Jim Ross's wife, she wasn't wearing a helmet. So, yeah, you never anticipate, you never know that that's coming. But you got to always kind of keep that in the back of your mind. You have to be aware that this is a thing that can happen at any moment. You can be hit. You can be struck. You could just lose control for no reason. Maybe the conditions on the road aren't nice. Maybe one of your tires goes. because you didn't know it was coming. You pop a tire. On a car, it's an inconvenience. On a motorcycle, you're in big trouble. So my father, to get back to the rules he expounded upon, dress for the fall, not for comfort. Always wear a helmet. Never drive stupid. Never do 80, 90 mile an hour in a 45 zone just because you can. Drive responsibly. And number 4, be aware of your surroundings. Having a situational awareness of everything going on is important. So I've always tried to keep an eye out for motorcycles, tried to, look out for them when I'm on the roadways. And I pray, I really do, that Miss Ross is fine, that she comes through, that she pulls through this, and that everything's okay in the end, because nobody should have to deal with this. Nobody should have to be in that situation. And even the kid, I feel bad for him, because we don't know. We don't know why that happened. But either way, if it was his fault because he was on Facebook or texting or whatever, or even if he didn't realize how close he was to her and misjudged the distance and hit her, that he's going to have to carry that for the rest of his life. And that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. So, again, I'm pulling for the Ross family. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. What else? I don't think I talked about this yesterday. The WWE finally made a firm offer to the Hardys. It is in paper that they are offering the Hardys a contract. Now, it's not, not clear whether or not they're just bringing them in to have the Hardys on board for after WrestleMania, and then they're going to go broken, or if WWE is going to step in and help the Hardys solve their legal problems, and then just make them be broken when they come in. But in addition to having the Hardys come in, rumor has it from Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satin that WWE is in talks with Ring of Honor to buy them out. So one of their biggest competitions across the ocean, that may become WWE property very, very, very soon. So apparently they've been in talks since January. It could fall through. It could easily fall through. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. I'm not really twisted about it. I'm not going to get, oh my God, WWE's trying to take over the world, or oh man, this is terrible. No. Maybe, who knows what happens. But I think that's about all I can jabber about for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you later, YouTube. Bye.